Hello, Judith.
Good morning, Sonya.
Good morning. Welcome
morning.
to the Coaches Cup podcast. I am Sonya Green from Sonya Green Coaching.
And I am Coach Judith with the No BS Weight Loss Program.
And today we are going to talk about unproductive thoughts that we have.
Is it thoughts or thought work?
Well, unproductive thought work that we follow sometimes, paths that we follow.
Yes. Okay. And the joke was, y'all, it is not morning. It is in fact evening, but I'm so conditioned to say good morning.
That's right. And nothing wrong with that. They may be listening in the morning.
Did I tell you I'd quit drinking coffee again, by the way?
I don't understand non-coffee drinkers.
It's turning out better this time.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
Yeah. All right.
You know, we were talking as we were pre-gaming that, what do you buffer with? Coffee, I think it'll have to be my buffer. I enjoy coffee. I've had a lifelong relationship with it.
I agree. Me too. I've quit it before and I'll probably pick it up again, but I think it's just time for me. I'm stating this for public accountability, y'all.
Woohoo! I did quit it when I was pregnant. I never drank coffee through pregnancies, but yeah. All right. Well, the thing that we decided as we were talking about unproductive thought work, we thought about several different things we could talk about, but the big one that we both agreed on is when you're doing thought work and you are trying to figure out the source of a negative thought or an unproductive thought.
Mm-hmm. Why am I thinking that? Why do I keep thinking that thought? Where did that come from?
Yeah. What's wrong with me? If I can unlock where this came from, it's going to be like everything magically falls into place. Angels are going to sing. Have you ever had that? Like where you just convince yourself?
No, I've never thought that way. Do you know me? Do you know me?
That's the truth, though. We all think that, right? We all think that if we follow a thought back far enough, that we are going to unlock the secret. I think about a movie or something where they turn a lock and everything falls into place.
I thought you were going to mention the movie. There is a movie called The Secret. Do you know the movie called The Secret?
I don't.
Oh, that's a whole nother subject there.
Okay. All right. We'll have to talk about it another time.
Oh, well, it's law of attraction.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's called The Secret. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not a good movie watcher, so
I'm not either. It's a book too. The Secret. I can't tell you who wrote it though.
It's a secret.
She's blonde. She's blonde. I've seen
that narrows it down.
And she's English.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, can't be me then. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so unproductive thoughts, trying to figure it out. The thought that kept me stirred up when I first started my weight loss journey was if I wanted something, and I was trying to fight an urge, which, fighting an urge is the problem there. But my thought was always my coach. I was coaching with somebody who was in the life coach school. And she was actively in class, at the time. And so I was one of her practice clients. And she was like, well, what's your thought when you feel that way? And I'm like, I just want it.
Oh, God.
And I remember this was early in her coach training, but we followed that thought for weeks.
What?
Weeks. And that wasn't the only thing we talked about.
Yeah, but but
it kept coming back to that. And, at some point, I don't know when, but at some point down the road, it finally occurred to me, it doesn't really matter where that comes from, why I think that. We are miles beyond that now. But it took me a while because I really felt like in my soul, if I could just figure out the why, that it would unlock the secret to weight loss for me.
I am seriously sitting here like with my jaw wide open going, what? Because I want it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and that's how unproductive thought work. That's why it's unproductive, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
there's never an answer. There's never
Yeah.
a why.
Yeah.
You just do because you're breathing, because you're human.
I think of it, it's language, right?
Yeah.
There's food. I want it. It's a command. It's classic urge, like boom, done.
Yeah. There's nothing hiding back in my past from
No.
when I was 5 years old. I mean, there's no story. It's just there. It's just a thought.
That is such a good story. I can't even think of one to even come close to it, except to think of my clients who come with, thoughts that, wanting to make it mean.
Yes.
The desire to wanting to make it mean to uncovering something deep from the past.
Yeah. Yeah. What are some of those? I know I'm trying to think. Clients have those issues. We talk about them all the time, right? And there are some things from the past that sometimes it's useful to follow. But the difference, it's not any one thing. The difference is it's useful to follow the path if you're finding answers, if you're moving forward with it. But if you're not moving forward with it, if you're spinning in it and just sitting there trying to think, well, why do I think that thought? Why do I think I'm worthless? That's one. Why do I think I'm undeserving? Now, maybe the first time you explore that thought that I am unworthy or I am undeserving of something, maybe it opens up a line that you could look at. Well, maybe my parents dismissed a feeling that I was having. Maybe they made me feel like I wasn't important. Okay, so you have that answer. But if you keep digging for more, then you're going to get to a point where you're no longer moving forward. You're just digging.
Yeah. I also have the awareness, I think, too, sometimes when we dig so hard, we can't make the relationship that might make sense. Like you work so hard at it.
Yes.
So hard. That was air quotes, y'all.
Yeah.
Because when we were pre-gaming and I was telling you about at my massage today, while the music was playing and it was quiet and I was noticing like dialing into my body and having awareness of where she was massaging me. And then I would have awareness of thoughts coming into my brain. It was just nice, one, to be out of the house. I wasn't coaching. I was, just having my own experience and being able to spend some time with some thoughts in a way where I wasn't trying to trace.
Yes.
Let it organically flow. I really got some traction today.
Yeah.
By not having pen and paper, by being with my body, by just being able to observe the thoughts. And again, so that would be the point of making it productive versus non-productive, right? I wasn't working it to death or trying to find, but it came to me at a state of relaxation.
Oh yeah. I love that. Well, that's a lot like you talked about, I don't remember if it was last week, but recently I know you've talked about how you're giving yourself the gift of when you get stuck, you walk away from it.
Frustration.
Yes, it's that same idea, right? Today, you didn't have an agenda.
Mhm.
I'm not going to sit down with pen and paper and figure out why I can't lose.
Why the hell am I thinking this?
Yeah. That's not my goal today. But because you're letting your brain wander and do its thing, our brains are always doing something, whether we've given them a task or not.
Right, right. And it was such a it was just a really nice place to be. What it was a nice space of it was quiet and productive. And I used the phrase, I don't know why, but like the timeline. It was the Jenga Tower Corinne talks about.
Yeah.
It was a Jenga tower for me. Like I pulled one and like the timeline collapsed and I could see how my story became what it was and how, because I was looking back and it just became crystal clear because I'm trying, I am working on, well, just like all brains, uncovering, figuring out, always searching.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I want to make sure that we're clear here. If you are getting traction, if you're moving forward with a thought, then there's nothing wrong with trying to uncover that. It's go ahead.
I was going to say one of the biggest ones, like it will be a thought, you led with this and it's true, is one thought is about not worthy or not good enough. Right. And when people will want to pick on that one and try and figure out where they got it, it's one of those. Now, maybe there's somebody out there who has worked it better than I have. My experience has been, you don't play with that one.
Yeah.
Don't play with that negative thought.
Yeah.
It's just do not touch. That's like,
and most of us have it.
And some negative thoughts, if you keep poking at the thoughts on the surface that go nowhere, you're going to get to not good enough, not worthy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That is the bottom. Like that's the bottom thought always. Is there a why? I don't know. Maybe there is. Does it matter? Not at this point. At this point, the thought is, we don't think that anymore. I am worthy because I'm breathing. Because I'm here on this planet, I'm worthy, period.
And there isn't anything worse than feeling not worthy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. Like, I know when you're in it, you're trying to figure it out. Why am I feeling this? What's going on? It's it's because you're thinking it. You're believing your thoughts.
Yes.
You gotta put some quarters in a new game. You're done.
Well, this is kind of a gross analogy, so I'm sorry, but I happen to think about it. It's like scratching a scab.
Oh, girl. Yeah,
it is. And eventually, if you keep picking at it, it's going to make a big old ugly scar.
You're right. You'll be walking around for weeks, months, feeling it.
Let it heal. You want to know why you're feeling unworthy? Because you're human. That's also the exact reason that you are worthy. So move along. And people do really get stuck on that. And I'm not making light of the fact that they get stuck on it, because
I've been stuck on it.
Absolutely.
I get it.
I mean, we talked recently about how I was in it for several years. I believed, I had that shame shawl that I carried around with me everywhere. I tried to hide and be small, and it's all because I believed I wasn't worthy. So I am not making light of it at all. I'm just saying that we don't have to figure out the why.
Right. And I think we're both talking about it lightheartedly, because it can be devastating when you're feeling it. Is like, it is the worst. I can't think of any.
Yeah. In the corner, in the fetal position, worst. Yeah.
Embodying it.
Yeah. In every way. Yeah. So trying to figure out the source of negative thoughts is usually going to be unproductive for you.
I would agree with that.
And I hope that that's freeing to people. I mean, I think of that as a gift. because it is tempting to track it, to try to, it feels productive.
Well, it's human nature, right? I mean, when I think about like when my daughter was younger, her favorite word was why. Why?
Oh, good
She was
grief.
so curious.
Yeah.
We would always tease her, what page are you on in that book you're writing? Like I wish we hadn't have done that now, but it was relentless. Her brain was relentless for wanting to soak up knowledge. Well, why is that? Well, why is that? Well, why do you think this? And why? And why? And why? And on a car ride to the beach. Well, but that's what the brain does.
Mhm.
And there comes a point, right? And part of good mind management, good thought management is knowing when to say when.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not bury it, but put that thought away.
Mhm. Let it go.
Turn the page and start that journal on a new topic.
Mhm.
And there's just so many times I know that the clients that I've coached, they feel like there has to be an answer for everything. Let's solve this, then we'll move on to the next thing that's broken in me. Have you had clients like that?
Of course. Mhm.
And so they want to ask, well, why? Well, why? Well, why? And keep digging. But sometimes it's just time to say, you know what? I think you've moved beyond this. I think what's going to be productive now is to look at something new.
Right. Yeah. And part of me, there comes a point where if a thought keeps coming up,
Yeah.
you've addressed it, there is that other part of this. If it keeps coming up, it's because you haven't processed the emotion.
Yes.
But that's a different scenario. We're talking about when you know the unproductive thought.
Yeah.
When you've done the work and not indulging in going on and on and on, like thinking it's back, like you're going to find anything other than you're not lovable or you're not worthy or good enough.
Yep. It's pretty much at the root of all of them.
That's it. Yeah.
If you think about it as weeding a garden or weeding a flower bed, you pull out those, it's at the bottom of every one. Yeah. Not worthy, not good enough.
It's dead end.
Yeah. So moving beyond that, I love that you talked about it. If you keep coming back to a thought, sometimes it's because you haven't processed it yet. You haven't processed the emotion attached to it yet.
Right.
Talk about that.
I think that is, I'm going to call it it's either a newbie error where you're looking at things on paper and you're intellectualizing it. I have clients say, well, I can see the path on paper, but in the moment, the experience is not like this. And that would be, experiencing the emotion, like really slowing this down. It is truly about experiencing the emotion in the moment. If you're not processing the emotion in the moment, and I don't know, did we talk about this with my frustration? Like I have it nailed down to like 5 minutes. When I'm in frustration, all summer I tried to work through frustration because that's what I've done. Plow through. And this is the other thing. If it's not a newbie error, it's something you've done so much that you're so accustomed to. I'm accustomed to frustration.
Yeah.
Right. And especially when it comes to technology, and I just like to push through because it's got to get done. The work's got to get done. And this summer I was able to like really nuance out, and with a 5-minute break and coming back and seeing like the answers were all right in front of me. But 5 minutes earlier, I was so frustrated that cognitively could not figure out or solve for what I was trying to do. So that processing, that taking that 5 minutes, taking that walk, getting some fresh air, processing, coming back in. And now, could I tell you the thought? No, but I could sure tell you I'm sure the thought was, I'll never figure this out. Oh my God, I'm going to be so late.
I'm so stupid. I can't. Yeah. I'm not good at technology.
Yes. Yes. but
that's a cultural thing too, right? I think that's the other piece of this is that like the I'm not worthy, that's a cultural thing, certainly for us. But the working through thinking that you can't walk away from it, that you have to figure it out.
yeah.
There's
What?
there's
Don't we have to? Wait a minute.
there's some conditioning that goes into that. Well, you can't give up.
Yeah, that's
You
not an
know?
option.
No.
Yeah. You know what I learned also? Ask for help.
Oh,
I didn't
honey.
even know that was an option this summer because I thought I had to figure this all out on my own.
Yeah.
Ask
Yep.
for help.
Because
Mhm.
everybody else has figured it out. I'm the only one. That's what our brain does. I'm not worthy.
I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough. No.
Oh,
Yeah, I love our brains for that, don't you?
oh gosh. Well, you know, it does feel nice to have, at least right now, I'm on top of the waves. Okay. So it's all good. I'm appreciating the humor and loving
Exactly.
the rain. But when, when you're in it, when it feels like the waves are crashing, none of this feels great.
No, it doesn't. But the difference in it is when we can understand, I mean, like knowing our feelings as well as know cognitively that everybody feels this way.
Yes.
And that's why we can laugh about it, because we know everybody feels this way. We all go through this. But when you are in the midst of it, when it is staring down at you, glaring down at you, you're all alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it's good to know
Yeah.
that you have thought work, right, to lean into
Yes.
and find some comfort in knowing this is normal. This is not a problem. Yes,
I can get back to that space.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always supposed to feel good.
50-50.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. If we did not have the contrast of life. I'm going to pull in my contrast with my hot sauna and my cold dip today. It was interesting having a conversation with the ladies in the sauna about she was saying how we are so accustomed to living in 72-degree weather, in and out of the cars, and we live in temperate climates, we keep our house, our car, that how good it is for our bodies to be exposed, to feel the discomfort, to expose it to the cold, the dipping in the ice cold water and the hot sauna, and how that contrast and managing our thoughts, right? That's primarily why I did the cold dip, was to experience it. Wanted to reap the health benefits of it, inflammation after a massage to help that back up.
Yeah.
But the contrast, that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to, after that cold dip, you appreciated the warmth even more, right?
Right. There's a cold shower to get in before you get in the ice cold water. And that was horrible, horrible. But after being in the cold water and then getting in the cold shower, couldn't even feel that cold water.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Without the contrast, without the stark contrast, without those negative feelings that we have sometimes. And it's been a while since we've talked about this, but I spent a lot of my life feeling what I would call the middle 10%, down that middle of the road. Nothing too strong, nothing too negative, nothing too positive. It was just very.
Did you like it?
I didn't know that there was anything else. Like, that's just kind of where my experience was.
Okay.
But now I can appreciate, I think, the highs more, because I also allow myself to experience
The lows.
the lows. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I think we can squeeze ourselves into that middle of the road.
Comfort zone.
Yes.
Right. Because that's what the brain wants to do.
Yeah.
Keep us comfortable.
Yes.
72.
Yes.
Sunny and 65.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
But life is in the contrast
Yes.
in our ability to process those emotions and to get in the cold, to be in the hot, and to be in the middle. I like Sunny and 65.
Yeah.
That's
there's nothing wrong with that, right? But we also, if life brings us something else, if there's loss, nobody likes to experience it, but you need to experience that and process it. You're going to at some point.
I've been working on processing and some grief, and I didn't realize, that I was carrying it around. But you're 100% right. In the moment, it was the carrying it that was heavier than the actual experience of, because the experience of processing it was so much more profound and feeling and in the moment. I'm going to use the word special. It was loving. It was emotive versus just that lump feeling of getting by.
Yes.
Getting by. Just one more day. I can just make it one more day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe Nichols, by the way, sings the song Sunny and 65. Oh, Sunny and 75. I knew I'd heard it.
You're bringing up that country music again.
Yes. Is he coming? I don't even know.
I think I know that one. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
I would like to be at a beach somewhere. No.
I have enjoyed the snow. We've had quite a bit of snow for us this last couple of weeks, and I've enjoyed that quite a bit.
I have decided that the next snow we have, I'm going to go lay in the snow. I'm going to do it. I actually thought about getting Dawn's cooler. We have a big Coleman body size cooler. I don't know what else to call it,
Okay. You want me to cut this part out? Should we cut this?
I'm not sure. Well, we were those parents, right? We had these big coolers because we were like parents for the track team, parents for the band team. We were doing all the things. So we always had all the drinks, the kid drinks.
Yes.
So there's this massive cooler downstairs, and I just keep I've talked to my husband about it several days in a row now. I'm like, I think I want to put that outside, and I want to keep some ice in there and some water. He's like, why don't you just use your bathtub? And I'm like, because one, it's a giant. It's a giant. And I want to leave it outside, and, I want it to experiential. I don't want to be in my bathtub.
Yeah. My son does that, but he's a power lifter. And so ice baths are a very common thing for him. Yeah.
That inflammation. So good.
Yes. All right. Well, whether it's sunny and 75 where you are, or whether you're considering a dip in the snow, we thank you for joining us today. If you love the Coach's Cup as much as we do, we would ask that you would give us a review. We've had some awesome reviews, and I appreciate them so much. I enjoy reading them. So if you could give us that review, we would appreciate it. It helps extend our reach to other people. Or share it. You extend the reach for us. If there's something that we've said or that you think would help somebody, then share this podcast with them.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. All right. If you're looking for coaching, you can find me at sonyagreencoaching.com. And I have several openings right now for a 12-session coaching package. As we get closer to May, I'm going to have even more of those. So watch out. And you can find me on Instagram at Sonya, SONYA _green coaching.
And if you would like to work with me, I am a weight loss coach for No BS weight loss program. And we have an opening coming up March 2nd through the 5th. And so we go to joinnobs.com if you are new to No BS. And if you would like to follow me on the Instagram, It's just Judy on Instagram. I got it. It may take me a while.
Judie. That's
Yeah.
yeah, because you spell it in a special way.
Yeah. I've never told you that story, have I?
No. All right. Well, we'll see you all next week, and I'm going to go hear the story.
Okay. Bye, y'all.